excited to share with you an artist that I think you're going to be just seeing. You're going to be amazed, and you're going to see a lot more of this individual's work. So tell us who you are and where you're from.
My name is Uzoma Anyanwu. I'm from Lagos, Nigeria.
And tell us about your exhibition that you have here.
Yes, my exhibition, the exhibition here is titled Tales from Africa, and it's a collaboration of two artists. One elderly renowned Nigerian artist, her by name Dr. Nike Okundaye, who have been doing some great works archiving Africa's earliest quilt tradition, practices, and influences the new younger artists, which also I'm collaborating with her to put up this show here.
And it's a marvelous show showing some of the traditional work as well as Uzoma's contemporary work. So let's go look at some of the pieces.
Yes.
So this piece is called Crowned with Care. And there's so much going on here that I'd like to talk about, but we don't have time. I would love for you to share. There's a lot of symbolism here. There's a lot of mixed fabrics, and your method is collage, but you don't work in collage like anybody else that I have seen. So tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, according to the name Crowned with Care, the title of the work, this I always work from pictorial photographs.
Because you love to take photographs. So these are
Yes.
your own photographs.
Yes, these are all my own photographs.
Yes.
From my neighborhood. Most of the children are already familiar with what I'm doing, but sometimes I like to capture them unaware so that I can actually, showcase the true natural
Essence of
state.
the individual.
Yes, and then with putting up the fabrics there, I'm a trained painter, and returning back from school, I uh, developed from I came from a family where my mom and sisters are of fashion designers, and I couldn't help but look at the fabric waste that is always there, speaking to me in colors and shapes and those motifs.
So you were
So
surrounded by fabric from a
sincerely,
very early age.
yeah, from a very early age, and after studying fine arts from the university, I never thought that fabric could engage me this way, the way I'm doing with. So, but it's a lot of practice before I got to this level,
Mm.
and I choose to use these discarded fabrics, because when I source from them, from my family and even outside my family, I get a lot of pieces, uncountable, and they're like pieces of treasures. And these are motifs, designs from um, every country that produces fabric, and I see some of these different motifs, like all races, all religion, all beliefs, and everything put together. Those who design this fabric, some of them might be very happy, and they could just make some fantastic colors and all that. Some who are coming from the war-torn zone can design fabric, and probably putting in their pains on this fabric. So I like it that I'm using it back to showcase on the faces. The figures are not necessarily just about the humans, but then it's just to show every pieces of what people pass through, so
Yeah.
because the fabrics from every region tells a lot.
Yeah.
And there is one outstanding thing I discovered also while I was experimenting all these years working with fabrics, is that um, I come from a Christian home, where my mom, they always make a uniform as women during Women's Day or so, and they celebrate those fabrics so much. There is particular fabric for these women, Christian Mother Association and all that. So some of them celebrate those fabrics, but those fabrics oftentimes are not designed by Nigerians. They are not designed by our people. They are imported either from India or from China. And I begin to make my research and I discover that some of the people, the companies designing these fabrics are not even Christians. Most of the motifs they put in there are not anything related to Christianity. So some of them are Buddhists. Some are do not even believe in any religion. They just do their stuff. So, but then our Christian mothers buy these fabrics. They are fascinated with the colors. They are fascinated with the motifs. They are not asking any question. So that begin to connect with what I'm thinking, that fabric might just be that center symbol, that center language, central language that connects everyone. And there is a saying in my place that if the way you dress is the way you'll be addressed, like when you appear looking very good, looking well dressed, people think you're mentally okay. People think you have a good personality.
Yeah.
But for some people who wore torn dresses, move around, we associate them with people who are insane somehow. So fabric have a lot to
Right.
connect us all. And bringing me back to this creation, every fabrics here have important values and communications and all that. And if I could even mention to, if I could just say, um, point to some of the fabrics,
Sure.
which are we call them Igbo designs from the eastern part, like this one,
This
this
one right here?
particular one. Yes,
This? Yeah.
yeah, they are well known. While I was
Right
growing
here?
up,
Okay.
yes, they are well known.
In
This
the eastern
particular
part
one
of
in the
Nigeria?
eastern part of Nigeria, our mothers actually use them. There are some fabrics in Africa, the way we use fabric, some are just for not just for aesthetic purpose, some are for let's just say collection for probably someone want to get married. Some fabrics are sacred fabrics. They are regarded as sacred items, and they could ask you, if you are the groom who want to wear the bride, the family could ask you that this particular fabrics, they needed it, and you have to go to the market to source for them. Yeah, so some fabrics are also used in the royal palace,
Right.
for the obas, for the chiefs, for the kings, and everyone know that those particular fabrics are
Just for them.
just for them.
Just for
So,
them.
but when I collect all these pieces of clothes, I see a lot of those crops of these fabrics,
Right.
and I'm happy that I can associate them with my work, and that makes my work very rich because it had a cut from every corner. So
Yeah.
some people also buy fabrics and they will tell you this is very expensive, this is from these designers, this is from this company, and all that. They treasure them a lot. All that are in here.
Now this is a collage
Yes.
type of work. Do you start with a let's say a white piece of fabric, or as you have this this green floral, do you start with that and then layer on top?
Yeah,
Or
like
do you build your whole subject and then place it onto the background?
yeah, sometimes because I want to have a clear contrast of my work, um, because fabrics, a lot of fabrics are so designed multicolor that if you are working with them, you need to be a bit careful. If not, it end up creating confusion.
Yes.
So most of the time, I get background that are not so clustered, and then I can make visible drawings that I'm going to see, outline drawings,
Yeah.
before I start following them up to paste. Yes.
And were because I watched a little bit of a video about you, and you mentioned that you did your own photography, and so were all of these girls together, or was this an image of girls that you put together on a computer to create this scene?
Yeah, all of these girls are together.
They were all together.
Yeah, I took this photograph. It's just a spontaneous photograph I took when I saw them.
Yes.
But it's still just within our environment.
Yeah.
And this is to also show how people, children, are able to communicate and support each other
Yeah.
in Africa.
In very modest ways.
Yes.
Yes. Well, that's wonderful. Let's go look at another piece.
Yes.
So this is another stunning example. Tell us about this one, and she is named Damilola, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
She's named Damilola, and actually, this is a work from a life modeling in my studio.
Oh, so you don't always work from photographs?
Yeah, I
You
don't always
have
work
lots-
from photographs. Some
Nice.
of the works, I actually have to talk to the model,
Yes.
and I want them to come as natural as it is. Sometimes what brings my interest to a particular people is maybe their facial expression or their story. When I hear of their story,
Yeah.
like Damilola here, she is from the western part of Nigeria, the Yoruba part, the Yoruba ethnicity. That is where she's from. And if you look at her, I purposely had to capture her because there's a tribal mark on her there, which is very visible. That mark is the tribal mark of the Yoruba people, and they also have some other marks too that goes up to 3 instead of 1.
Okay.
Very conspicuous, and because some of these marks, tribal marks, are disappearing, and I started. This is the first I am doing with Damilola to be able to keep the record of this, and also work and share my fabrics on this whole thing. So Damilola often will be invited to the studio. We have taken photograph of her too, and then sometimes she sat during the work, and I can look at a few things in realistic
Really
to
realistic
be
time.
able to.
And is the her head covering also something that's very distinctive for the community that she's from?
Yes, because we back in Lagos, I developed some work I call Sisi Eko. Eko means Lagos, and Sisi means like a woman, a young lady,
Yes.
beautiful lady. But we used to have the what we call Ashebi. Ashebi is if you are having an occasion, some of your friends are going to make some uniform dresses,
Yes.
very beautiful colors, vibrant colors, and sometimes they could put this headgear.
Yes.
The head tie is associated with the Ashebi and all that, and especially women in West Africa, particularly Nigeria.
Yes.
So this is part of the series of Sisi Eko that I had to make this particular one to include the tribal mark story.
Yes.
Yes.
So you, like Mama Nike, are trying to record the traditions of the various communities, as you said, because you're not seeing so many women now with the marks on their faces. That is going away. So this is your way of capturing that as well.
Yes, because it's very important that we keep that tradition. We keep, even if we can't keep the tradition, but we have to keep the history of the tradition, because there are people you see in Nigeria, you'll be amazed the type of drawing, and it's associated with some of the collections of some of our bronze work that are in some of the museums in US and in the UK.
Yeah.
If you look at some of those bronze works, you see those lines of marks, they are tribal marks. Some of them were given just to identify a particular people, and some were given to protect them from some certain evil attack. Some were given for to help them recover from sicknesses and all that. So there are a lot of reasons, you know.
Why you would
So,
have the
and that
marks
is
on
why I
it. Yeah.
keep this alive too.
Now, because your pieces are quite large, it seems
Yeah.
like it would take an extensive amount of time to make them. Do you work on one piece at a time, or do you maybe start on something and then let it sit for a bit while you think about going forward, or do you work on multiple pieces at a time?
Yeah, it takes a lot of time, you know, because I have to first of all start looking at the photographs or thinking about the concept.
Right.
Yeah, but I have made our time to collect. I have a lot of collections of the fabrics. So the next step is the time I will also invest to research on the particular fabric dump I have to
Okay.
be able to get the color schemes out. Those are things that take time
That take
before even approaching the drawings and all that. So it takes a long time, especially for a work of this.
this
Yeah,
size.
it
This is
takes
quite
several
large.
months
Yes.
to finish. Sometimes when everything is empty in my head, I just have to abandon it, face other things, and then I'm also I have to stay until I'm very hungry about it again. Ideas will begin to drop. Yeah, then uh, the finishing of this work, I had to, after the collaging, I had to send to the US here to collaborate with some quilters, and
Who then do the
the
quilting for you?
yeah to do, and the lady who quilted this one, her name is Eramika Brown.
Aramika Brown
She's from
did the
Dallas.
okay. So you do the collaging and then you send it here, and
Yes,
then she does the quilting for
yes.
you. Well, it is absolutely stunning, and the work is amazing,
Thank
and
you very much.
it's so fabulous to be able to learn more about what your country is doing to preserve its history. And now we're going to learn about Mama Nike's work from her daughter.
Yes.
Yes, thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Thank you.